Why, hello.
Hello!
I'm Jeff,
And I'm Zach.
and welcome again to another episode of...
Reviews in the Park.
We're going to talk about Terminator Genisys.
Yes.
A reboot sequel of sorts.
Yeah. We literally finished watching this film about, what?
10 minutes ago?
Yeah, 10-15 minutes ago.
For me, it was satisfactory. It wasn't horrible, yet it's not great.
I would agree with James Cameron that it definitely feels much more like a true, third Terminator movie.
Yes. There's a lot of homages.
Tons.
To the first movie. Maybe a little bit of the second, but mostly the first.
Well, there's a lot of from the second in the beginning.
I highly recommend please don't see the trailers if you haven't.
Please don't.
It will ruin a big plot twist. It was a great plot twist. It does totally make this movie kind of relevant and not just a rehash of things that have gone prior. It turns it on its head. But yet, me and Zach knew about it for months.
Gabby hadn't seen any of the trailers, and she actually went with us. She was floored at the twist that was ruined in the trailer.
Big gripe. I love the homages to the first movie. They almost do cut for cut from certain scenes. But
like when Kyle Reese arrives and all that stuff.
Kyle Reese arrives, there's the three punks, and Arnold shows up asking for their clothes.
Yeah.
I think the big gripe for me in continuity is if you're gonna at least make a young looking Arnold, why not go the distance and make everyone else that guy did not look like Bill Paxton. If you go back to the original movie,
he did not at all.
The blue spiky hair, they got rid of it. I'm if you're gonna go that way, go the full distance. And another thing is, I think I think the thing that hurts this movie is the casting. I feel like we say Jai Courtney is film poison. I think the only movie he might be okay in is the Divergent series, and that's still reaching. Well, I think though, what's her name from Game of Thrones?
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke. She kind of grew on me later as the movie went on, but I still don't think she even is a inch close to how great Linda Hamilton was playing the character.
She looks a lot like her though, and you know what? She handles the action scenes very well. She acts very well too.
She's a little, she looks like she's 16.
She reminds me of Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy in the first half of the film. The way that she talks, the lingo that she uses, the way that she behaves, which is not really the way that you would expect a girl who'd, been basically raised by a Terminator to behave.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like she kind of grew on me as the movie went, but I felt like the two leads besides Arnold were just miscast in my eyes.
I thought that her accent was terrific. Her American accent was terrific. Jai Courtney, problem. Oh God, what was Jason Clarke? Who played John Connor?
Yeah, and he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he was very good in it. And so was Matt Smith.
Yeah, which we'll go in our spoiler. We're going to have a spoiler after this that will go further into that, because talking about Matt Smith's role is a huge spoiler.
Yeah, definitely stay during the credits, because there is something during the credits.
Haven't we learned that you stay through the credits?
Marvel should have conditioned us by now.
J.K. Simmons was a great supporting character. He was probably my favorite character.
Yeah, he pretty much was. He's so funny.
So funny.
But
it's realistic in this world.
It really is.
There was a couple times in this movie, but it didn't go the Terminator 3 route where it went totally goofy. But there was some moments where it was leaning on it. And a big thing about Terminator series for me is how serious it takes. But the humor is there, but it's not... It fits in that world. Just the irony of... I remember going back to Terminator 2, just Arnold trying to figure why he can't kill people. It was kind of funny in that instance. But it was natural, organic humor. And I was really afraid that this movie was going to tinker, and it went a little far, but not too far. So it stayed there. And J.K. Simmons was one of the best comedic moments in this movie.
Some of the moments with the new Terminator, it was really the new Terminator, who is pretty awesome. I mean, he's like the Liquinator, but he's not the Liquinator. Like, he's got the whole, like, flowing thing going.
Yeah, it was a really cool effect.
He's made of sand, basically.
Yeah, metal sand. It was really interesting. I liked how this new Terminator pushed the envelope in terms of what it could do.
That was the other thing I really liked about this, was that they took what the Liquinator could have done in the original movies and actually let him do that stuff. I will say, though, one of the things that Terminator 2 really had going for it was the use of practical effects, too. And I think that that's one thing that this movie could have used more of, was practical effects.
Oh, like the whole future fight scene was just a CGI fest.
It
all
really
the robots,
was.
like, I could tell none of them were practical.
Yeah.
Like, all the Terminators in the first battle scene were just all CGI. It's just, I think the big thing that as a big tell is how shiny everything is. It's not matted and like you look at our skin, and that was a big thing that they CGI a young Arnold. Sometimes it's impressive. There were some shots I was like really looking close and seeing how well they brought a young Arnold back.
It was pretty impressive.
It was pretty impressive. There were some scenes like it just like skin's too reflective and too shiny. That's the kind of the tell for me, but for the most part they did a really good job.
That's what happens when you're a graphic artist.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You get to notice all that stuff, and I'm just like, it looks pretty. I will really have to say, and this is going to sound really controversial at first, there was one thing about this movie that I did not like, that I actually liked in Terminator Salvation better. The people in the Resistance in this movie are all very clean. And their teeth are perfect. Terminator Salvation, their teeth weren't perfect and they were dirty.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And that was something that I actually really appreciated in Terminator Salvation, which it's pretty much the only thing I appreciated from Terminator Salvation. But like it actually framed these people of the Resistance in a very realistic way, and that was terrific, frankly. And in this, they're very shiny and pretty.
You're catering to a movie that was like, you're harkening back to Terminator 1 and 2. They were both R-rated films, so you have to watch them anyway. Oh, yeah. So why are we making this PG-13?
Well, everybody pushes for PG-13 for financial reasons.
But you know that, though, it's like, it depends on you watching an R-rated movie to watch a PG-13 movie.
Oh yeah.
The sense, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
So like, I don't get the marketing for the why they had to make it PG-13. Even though, like, in all honesty, because mostly they get away with it because it's robots versus robots fighting.
Exactly.
So, but there wasn't many human casualties in this movie, and when there is, it's very quick. So, like, I feel like that happened in Terminator 2 more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of civilians died in the Crossfire.
Oh, yeah, like the security guard in the mental hospital.
Yeah.
When the Liquinator comes up off the floor in that amazing effect.
Yeah.
Which they harken back to a little bit in this one, kind of.
That's just the thing that bugs me personally about this movie. But it was still a fun action movie. I think it gets better as the movie goes on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The beginning kind of drags, or actually in a way it was a weird like time vortex for me, ironically. It was like I wanted to stay longer and like slow things down in the beginning, but then again I wanted to go forward faster.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like it was just a weird thing. You'll know it when you watch it, but I think as they move on through the movie, I think it gets a little more interesting, and then it just kind of gets its groove. I think it's having a hard time finding its groove in the beginning.
Alan Taylor directed this movie, and he's done episodes of Game of Thrones, and he did Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
And he actually does a very good job in this. I thought that especially the action sequences were very well handled. I mean, they fall into some of the cliches, as every action movie does.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he really holds the 4th of July, everybody. He really does a good job with the tender moments. You can definitely see the Game of Thrones in there a little bit in some of the stuff.
So Zach and I were discussing, I think he was thinking 7, I was thinking 6.
6.5?
So yeah, let's meet with 6.5.
Yeah. Not my favorite movie of the summer, but I mean, it's not a bad one. I would say that if you're a fan of the Terminator franchise, go out and see it. And even still, it's a good time. Kids will like it because there's lots of explosions and robot fights and jokes and stuff.
It's just in the end, I give it the grade because it's just meaningless action flick. It'll entertain you for the 2 hours, but I was telling Zach, I think right now we just saw it, but give it another 3 years, are we going to remember any of this? So,
like Terminator Salvation, I mean, I barely remember. I watched the CinemaSins for Terminator Salvation just the other day in preparation for going to see Terminator. Nothing. I remember nothing.
That's our feel on this movie. Check the links right here.
Yeah.
With our spoiler-filled little bits that we just don't want to ruin for anybody out there.
Nope.
But be sure to check it out after you've seen the movie.
Yep.
Again, thank you so much. Check out the links below for all our social media accounts and also how to listen to our podcasts.
Oh yeah.
And again, thank you so much, and just share this with your friends. Spread the word that Nerd Park is here.
Hashtag Nerd Park.
All right. So again, thank you so much. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Zach.
And stay nerdy, my friends.